Hey guys, we're back. I don't know what happened with the feed. I don't know if they give you just 30 minutes to do your thing, but we're back. So Kenny was actually talking about why he felt as though that he was opposed by not only in people in city council, but the general populace here in the city of Salisbury. Um, Let me ask you a question, Kenny. I've had several people to ask the question, um, when is Kenny going to get back engaged in politics or in some capacity? So what is your answer to that?
Well, let me finish up. I don't know where we got cut off on that, but I'm not angry. I mean, that's the thing that I think people want to assign that character defect to default. I'm not an angry person. What people don't understand, and I talked to a sister that lives down around Cary, and I've been counseling with a lot of people, and she's working a professional job at a law school, and she called me yesterday to ask for some advice. And I said, the thing is, and she's so mild-mannered, and I'm the same way. I'm not an angry person. I'm just a no bullshit person. Don't come with me with that yap silliness. I just don't have time for that. But I'm not angry. I don't have any antagonism. I don't have any animosity. I call out idiocy. And idiocy does not have a color. But to answer this question, I'm done, Seth. And it's not that it's a knee-jerk response to anything that happened. I got out here 1989, 1990. I have a resume. I have a body of work. I have fought for things for the undervalued, underserved. I fought for housing. I fought for police. I could sit down and write you a litany of things that I have done and I have accomplished. I've never once compromised my credibility, my integrity. I've never worried about whether I was going to be invited to the country club or be on the city manager's de-escalation call list, call team. I don't care about stuff like that. Right is right to me. But I'm at the point now, I suffer some health setbacks. I've been to the doctor twice, and they've told me with my blood pressure, my stress level, because I just didn't get on there and use it as a title. I got out of my bed many a nights after midnight and went to crime scenes, comforted families, when gunshots. I went out. I was out there as a working city council member, and I have worked, 28 years before I got on city council. It's time for me now to take a step back. And I'm at this point in my life now where I'm going to devote the rest of my time to my family. My wife has been very supportive of me. I have to give her credit because, this was the first year at Christmas and holidays and Thanksgiving. I was not on the phone. I was there. I was actually participating. I was actually, my son said to me about a year ago, one of my sons told my wife, sometimes we don't enjoy coming home because dad is either always on the phone, fussing, fighting, doing, and sometimes it's hard to be in the house. This year, it was beautiful. I had a wonderful holiday. So moving forward, my kids are on the cusp of realizing their professional dreams. I'm hoping to have grandkids, pretty soon. So, like when Dr. Bird called and asked if I would come and talk to the class at Winston-Salem State, yeah, I'd be more than happy to do things like that. But as far as getting back out here in the trenches and fighting, I'm done with that.
I feel you. Speaking of Dr. Bird, I saw where you joined the conversation. Dr. Bird's over in India. She's taking a group of social workers over to India from Winston-Salem State. So make sure you're safe over there.
That was a great class. It was a public policy class at Winston-Salem State. Carolyn Logan and I went over and talked about just a myriad of topics we talked about. But it was great because those kids in that class were so engaged, so just knowledgeable, so wanting to understand the political process. And they allowed both of us to go in and really just share and the questions that they asked. So I really appreciated that. I've had opportunities to speak at UNC Greensboro. I've spoken at Livingstone, and I enjoy things like that. But as far as really getting back in, it's time for somebody else. But we've got to get some real Black leadership. And I hate to say Black leadership to quantify and qualify it, but there are things that are unique to our community that we do need Black leaders. But I think we need to not get so wrapped up in that I am recognized as a Black leader. But we need some real leadership, and there's an absence of real leadership in our city. I'm still getting calls. I mean, people are frustrated. People are not happy. I got a call probably about a month ago where some people said that they had cleaned out a house. And I guess they had put all the essentials, the furniture, everything, out on the curb. And it sat there for 4 weeks. Wow. Nobody ever came and picked it up. And people start coming like a swap meet and picking it up. And then people are calling me about gunshots and doing. And I just think that there's a uniqueness that impacts our community. But my point before we got cut off that I was going to say is we need to stop being so focused on just this social justice thing, because there is no justice when you've only got one Black person on council. There is no justice when everything is meted out by socioeconomic status, when it can be easily manipulated. So what you have to look for is economic equity. Are resources being allocated equally across the city? Are we still just trying to build up downtown when the people in the southern end, the western end, the west end have no equitable resources? But yet they keep saying, let's have a meeting and let's put sticky notes on the wall and let's do whiteboards and let's put all of this and we're going to put a plan together. As if we were doing that in 1995.
Yeah, man. And I have to piggyback on what you just said in terms of, well, for me, Elvis left the building a long time ago.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Because I really, honestly, man, I don't see anything changing anytime soon. And I know that may sound like a cop-out to some, but at the same time, man, when you've actually, rolled up your sleeves for a long period of time, and you sought out to try to create some type of change. And then usually what happens is it's the people that look like you that are always the ones that clip your legs off.
Exactly.
So I'm just, I don't want to be without legs. I want my legs. Yeah. So if I want my legs, then I'll just move to the side.
Right.
But I really think, man, honestly, I think I've been engaging some of these younger kids, and they have no fear. Right. And so, some direction sometimes may be misguided, but they have no fear. Mm-hmm. And so it's really advantageous that, some reach out to some of these younger kids and kind of give them some direction. And maybe we may have some young leaders, in the oven that are ready to take over.
Well, it's a different mindset, because if you my kids, man, my kids don't have the same insight, foresight, and passion that I do for service and equity, and because they didn't experience it. I don't have it for like my grandfather.
Right.
But there are people out there. But what we gotta get past again is people wanting to be in leadership for the sake to say, I'm a leader.
Right.
And then you go and say, well, show me what you've done, and you can't show me anything. That's what we got to stop doing, and we got to start exposing these cowards. We got cowards out there that are sitting in these meetings that are talking about the Black condition, how we're going to improve, and they're going right over here telling everybody that's against what the plan is what we're doing. Those cowards need to be exposed. We got too many of them running around here. But again, going back to your point, I'm at the point, I never let stuff bother me. So I never let the criticism bother me. So how people feel even about what I'm saying tonight, or how I chose to fight, or what I chose to call out. I just don't care. It just doesn't bother me, because when you start getting wrapped up into, well, I wonder what people think if you're not an effective leader. Somebody's manipulating you, and that's why all that social justice stuff, it's wonderful, but it's no longevity or legs in that. Financial independence and equity is what we need to be fighting for.
Speaking about being in these meetings, this, that, and the last, I think, official meeting that I was in, somebody had a tape recorder, and the thing was, it wasn't found out until after the meeting. So I'm sitting here saying, okay, we're in this meeting. It's supposed to be a private meeting,
right?
And everyone in the meeting looks like me. And then I found out someone has a tape recorder.
I remember that meeting. I left early.
Yeah.
And it was being privately recorded.
Right.
Well, to me, why?
That's my point.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. And like I said, my question goes back to all of these people that engaged in all of this to ensure that I did not get reelected. What did you win?
Right.
What has the Black community won? How is it better? And again, I wasn't the be all, the end all, but at least I didn't compromise my integrity, my beliefs, my community, what I'm fighting for. I forged relationships and I called people out. Again, I just don't see a whole lot of people that are willing to do that now, and we're going to suffer for it.
Kenny, I tell you what, just wrap it up, man. Give us some closing statements.
Just that, I appreciate this, and I appreciate the love. Y'all just don't know how great it feels if I'm in Walmart, Pizza Hut, the gas station, Krispy Kreme, wherever I am. It gets to be a little trying at times, but I'm glad I made such an impact that 3 or 4 months later, people are still approaching me. I can go in Walmart and say I'm going to be in there for 15 minutes, and I'm in there 2 hours. Sometimes I'm talking to my brother Pete on the phone, and people come up and engage me in conversation. I appreciate, the love. Carolyn, Logan, Myra Mills. There are people that check on me regularly just to say, we're thinking about you. Crystal Bailey, Kim Fleming, just a lot of people. There's so many names that I don't want to get into individually.
Right.
But I appreciate that. And one thing that I will always be is true and honest. And if it offends people, if it rubs people the wrong way, I would much rather somebody hurt me with an honest truth than to pacify me with a lie or something like that. I don't deal with that. And I'm at the point, Chris, where I look back, man, and I look back over history. We're 153 years removed from slavery. I look at the atrocities and the indignities that people of color have had to endure for years, the things that we have had to fight for. And then you got people up here that are willing to sell you out for a little bit of recognition and self-aggrandizement. Those kind of people in my new life, I have no use for people like that anymore. So if you're not true, and it doesn't have anything to do with color, because there are some good people, man. Orrin Earnhardt, Matt Marsh, Craig Pierce, and it doesn't have anything to do with color. Integrity is what it's all about to me. There's some good people out there, man, that's fighting. But then you got some jackass cowards that ain't doing nothing but playing. So I say all of that to say, I may be off the scene, but I'm not out of the scene. And if people need anything, I'm here. But don't ask for my advice or my opinion if you really don't want to hear it.
Hey, you heard it live here at the Perfect Smoke. I'm with Councilman Kenny Hardin. The one thing I think Michael Julian just said, very interesting stuff. Mr. Hardin tells it like it is. He trust me, he does. And sometimes you would much rather hear it like it is than hear a fairy tale. And also, guys, on next Tuesday, I'll be sitting down with Commissioner Craig Pierce as he unfolds what he plans to do for the 2018 election. Mike Julian, I hope to get you on the show one of these days, man. I know you're vying for a position as well. There's some good things going on in the community. The S.E. Kaiser Fox Charter School, those guys will be in full motion this summer. So, they need your support as well. Make sure you link up with them. I think you can get in contact with Brother Kenny Hardin, Tina Wallace. But guys, anytime you want to sit down live with the bishop, I know some people don't like when I call myself the bishop. I don't call myself. Others do. I just, I've just embraced it. You're more than welcome to sit down. But it's great to see Councilman Kenny Hardin in good spirits and good health and enjoying life. Like I said, guys, he said that, he doesn't see politics in the future. You did say that, right?
Yeah, I'm done, bro. I'm waiting on some grandkids. Not putting no pressure on my kids, but right. I'm just waiting on grandkids.
So he's done, man. So anyway, guys, I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Tune in on next Tuesday at 7 o'clock, man. I'll be sitting down with Craig Pierce, and we're going to make it happen. Hey, this weekend, Saturday, man, the Tar Heels and the Duke Blue Devils. Guys, last week I was with Miami. This week it depends on who wins the game, and you'll see the hat on my head at the end of the game. So I hope all is well. Take care. Have a great weekend. Peace.